this is Feock. We bought this a couple of years ago. Had a arduous back and forth in planning, didn't get what we wanted, and in the end, we just kind of pulled the ripcord and went for a restoration. We were going to demolish it and rebuild, but we put an extension on the side, loft conversion, extension on the rear, and an outbuilding. So we're in the final throes now. And this, we've talked about it before, the ashlar detail that we've put on the external of this. I'm not a fan of render, but when you're trying to patch extensions onto old buildings, sometimes it's just better to whip the render around it to just make it look consistent across all of the elevations. But one of the biggest challenges I face now is this extension, in my opinion, is ugly. And I'm now fighting with I'm going to have to come up with a really comprehensive, detailed planting scheme for this corner, this flank, to shield that, because in planning, we weren't allowed to connect that roof into that house. I mean, it wouldn't have made much of a difference because I still think this addition isn't architecturally the most stunning addition, but that's planning for you. Planning on Greenbelt makes you do these, just some weird rules. And one of the rules is you can't join the roofs and you can only go 4 meters across. It's weird, but we're making the best of a challenging planning journey on this one. Brand new, isn't it? So with these types of conversions, this has to be incidental to the use of the house. So the person that buys this house could use this as a gym, could use it as a garage, could have an office, they could have a teenage child and an older person perhaps out here, but it has to be incidental to the house. So it can't be, it's not its own, like it could be configured to be a unit in its own right. It couldn't have someone not associated with the family using it, sleeping, say, for instance, has to be incidental to the use of the house. So I classify this as an outboard in the bonus room. Again, this was a really tricky one of planning. I didn't get in planning what I wanted to get. So I added this on as a bit of a bonus, but value add. So this is going to go to market at about 1.4 to 1.5 million. So potentially this finish kind of elevates it a little bit. This can be all a little bit boring if you just look at it without this. And the plinths just add a bit of quality. By the time you next come here, well, front will be rendered. Within the next couple of weeks, this will be patioed. This will close in now really, really quickly. When we head to, you'll see one of my other projects, but this will close from a building site to something like what you near to a home very, very within the next week. Be fair, just when we've gone on the market, we just come in a couple times a week just to make sure there's no surprises. There's loads of viewings coming in now. Yeah, this was a doctor's surgery in a flat. We'd knocked back into that one house. Because of the where all our sites are at the moment, we end up. This is our midpoint pit stop. If this is the entrance we're doing to my house is going to be on my. So if you come around, yeah, my wife, when you're in flags over there, you got our address. My house sit on kind of on my jet squat, and then my garden would be that back down there. We're back down here, so it's kind of 5 plots, around about 5 acres. So carving off 5 acres from the 34 acres of land to create my house. This will be my front garden. Isabella, come on, let's be on camera. Yes. It's your first foray into you'll be a movie star one day, Isabella. This is my son lives in there. This is his house. And the park race, and my granddaughter as well. I am going to dismantle this barn piece by piece and put it somewhere else on the land. It's not going to stay here because I've got 3 houses I'm building out back here, and this should be the kind of the farm and 3 houses. This would be my driveway to my house. That would be the driveway over there to the 3 houses I'm building. You can just quickly zoom in on that. That's where the practice. This is like this guy in the archives because it doesn't happen very often. Rob me working. He actually sat down on his arse. That's a regular occurrence. We are going to Whittington Gate, which is my development in the centre of Bracknell. I've got 4 projects in Larges Lane that I'm doing at the moment. I've got building 4 houses. I'm just about to start building a sporting campus. I'm demolishing the former football club site. I'm just taking into planning for 300 apartments on the cricket club. So we're going to go around them. I have to do impromptu public, so like on public consultations, like engaging with neighbours is a weekly occurrence across all my sites. So one of my sites in Bracknell, I've got an over 55 place towards the back, and I have to constantly be in dialogue with them and go in and do tea mornings just to keep them abreast of what's going on across the site. So I have to do a lot of smoothing, making sure people feel like they're coming along. Well, peacekeeping is peacekeeping. If we've pissed them off, peacekeeping, and trying to not piss people off. Because sadly, when you're developing, sometimes a site will be passive, nothing will be going on there for a year or 2, and all of a sudden, for a year to 18 months, you throw absolutely everything at it from 8 till 4, and it pisses people off, and they give it up. As every month goes by, people get more and more agitated, and you could talk to them every day, but at the end of the day, you just have to smooth things over as best you can. Keep people. I try just to keep them informed, and just say that, look, we're heading for this finish day. It will get better, but it's going to get worse before it gets better. Like I just said to that guy there, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. The next 2 months is going to be intense. Very, very intense. Lots of movements. It's going to be busy, but it will then calm. That's what I built a couple of years ago now. So that lovely pitch, full pitch. I'm just about to start building this, finish this already. Fuck you hell. All we do is chase each other, Star. And just double check with Mick that the side panels at Feock, they're definitely not glass. They're not even opaque. They're just plastic.
No, because I think that they were the temporary.
Yeah, okay, fine. Yeah. I was going to say, even if they were the opaque, they're a very funny looking opaque glass. But anyway, that's fine. And then I should get the rest of this one in today. Or one. That, all the way to there. And then Monday, should I get that up? And then when Chris comes with the angles, I'll just bend it past it, and I can cut off and change whatever Monday. I just realised how you've got this jacked up. You see that, it's a bubble. Brilliant. That was not designed for that, was it?
Well, works, winches itself up.
Well, yeah, them boys are a little bit confused out there. They're going to need. They seem a bit confused about that.
You don't have any preference, so you just roll this one.
Mate, just do it. You know what we need to do. Will be a youth cricket pitch out here. This will be pitch free. That goes in there. We got in this land because it's so boggy, got to sort all the drainage out. That's what we do at the moment. We put stone in that, harden it up.
But did you meet with your neighbor?
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah,
That's shielded. We need to move the burn pole. You can see that like fuck. We need that burn pole. We're going to turn that yard down there, into the yard. That's going to be the yard. Can't have it up here anymore.
well, you gotta get that road in that goes from bring shit from around here down there.
Next week, my plan is Jem, Rob, over on gate 3, bringing all the crush from Larges Lane, building a haul road to the bottom corner. We'll keep Pete and Lee coming in there.
Can we put some material in there first?
We're going to put loads of material.
As I say, like bring some, like I was thinking about Monday, switching trucks over there, dumping some trucks off, getting it built up a little bit, and then put the trucks over.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
In the time, this will be shut. Yeah. This will be shut. This will be the park. But in a week from now, this will be a clean tarmac parking area.
I heard that the other day. I love your ambition.
No ambition, mate.
No, I believe it. I will believe it. Saw Lewis earlier.
Fred's already committed to working double shifts next week.
Time and a half, yeah. When he got salt in the ground, yeah, pulled the foot out, and then the old ball comes out. Take mass. Yeah.
That's my son.
You going for coffee?
No, just me, mate. Can I have a coffee, sweetener and cream, please? Feock was the one in Wingfield. What we're pushing for there is to wrap up the external render, get the glazed, well, in order of, today they're finishing the side render. The glass will go in on the front apex, and then next week they'll render the front of that building. So really, he's getting the external fenestration completely finished and buttoned in. As soon as that's done, it then enables us to move straight on with the groundworks. So the next 2 weeks, really, my vision for that site is to have it to a point where you can walk on that site in nice white clean trainers and not get super muddy feet. So that's over the coming 2 weeks. That's where I like to get that job. So when we start finishing the inside, the floor finishes going down. You're not bringing in rubbish from outside. So that's as we close that job off, that's where we'll be looking to go. So I've got a few of my gang from this job here at the farm going to be bouncing over there once they've finished the curb in here to get Feock tight and buttoned down. Over at Whittington Gate, we're racing on plot 4 to get that finished. The buyer will have to beat the stamp duty increase, which comes into effect at the end of March. So that one there, kitchen going in this weekend. I'm pretty much now got a gang in that job. Day shift, night shift, weekend shift to push it on to get it done to beat the stamp duty change. And then, so I think as we keep going back to that property, I believe we have floor finishes going down second week of March. So that's really going to close off. The landscaping around the front and side also over the next week or two will be buttoned up on Whittington Gate. So both Feock and Whittington Gate, they're right at the end, closing together. So they really all want to be done in March, towards the end of March. The farm, when you next see the farm, we're racing to get this site is muddy. So what we want to do is that area where we've been out there where they're curbing at the moment, I'm racing to get that tarmacked. Once that's tarmacked, hopefully we can then get on top of carrying this mud around through the sites. So this site, as we want to get it onto 3 natural levels. At the moment, it bowls. It's very boggy out there, so we're trying to build up levels and get it all landscaped. A little bit like we've done out the front here. That landscape we want to carry all the way through the site, so it's less boggy and a lot clearer. I heard the storm come in last night as I went to bed, but I've woken up to water everywhere. This is called ashlar detail with a plimp. This restoration was tricky in planning terms. And what we've been able to achieve is a side extension, a rear extension. Trying to make it all tied together has been tricky. So we've gone for a render, a new slate roof, in the hope that we can beautify a really challenging planning game. The way that they approved the roof detail in planning, they didn't allow us to connect it to the main house. You've got this valley on the front that's awful. So hence why we're spending a bit more money on the external render, the lines, the plimps, to up the curb for and making it more attractive from the curb. Yeah, come on. Well, they said that the glass is going to be back here on Wednesday. The side glass, I got.
Well, that's the same as that. Yeah. No. The apex all fitted, the template, the glass moment, but that allows us now to finish the render on the front.
Wednesday game? Yeah. She was raving about the time this morning. Bad, no good. No, raving wasn't. She said it was good. It's not like her. Hey, Kayne. When you fixing this glass, Kayne? When you fixing the glass shop? That company hasn't come back to me. That company that I was in Swindon, they send a van out and they just go round areas, picking up jobs, taking them back, dropping them back. Should only do sandblasting.
It used to be a winter bloke down in Leicester,
Yeah.
I don't think you dare it.
It's worth keeping them, isn't it? They're expensive.
Well, that I was made for them. So,
Metal crittle door.
yeah.
Are they a few grand or?
I know when you were trying to get them to the church, they were fucking well expensive, and they
Yeah.
were like a grand each.
Yeah. Okay, so if I spent 500 quid ish spraying this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you've got your money's worth.
Okay.
It's a treat to start with, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
Right,
right.
I'm sending you the address. If you could just coordinate it for me. You don't need to take it there. I just need you to liaise with Lauren to get Bobby to take it there.
Yeah, no worries.
Top man. I'm trying to do 5 things at once because of all the flooding this morning. I'm a little bit behind. Weekends are intensely busy, football. And so there's no luck. Saturdays, just mental. Then you get to Christmas and where everyone else is starting to wind down to spend time with their family. Our schedule is getting even busier because over Christmas you'd have more football, more games. So it's kind of, I suppose my nights host with Thailand on football is Carlos to agree. Also still crazy in the same.
Yeah. Just on different days. Yeah.
I'm able to now sit on my sofa on a Saturday afternoon rather than be travelling around the country. That's nicer.
Yeah.
That is nicer. I don't miss that. My son on Saturday went to Wales to watch him play Merthyr, and I just not having to do that was nice. But for my weeks is still barely in the same. Still barely in the same. Have you noticed how I save everyone in my phone? Save them with what they do. Chris is the brick guy. Simon's gate man. Rob's the man with the digger.
Okay.
Hey Chris, you right, mate?
Yeah, could you?
Yeah, I've got to update you on my phone. You're saved currently as Chris Brick Guy.
Oh, okay. Brilliant.
You're becoming, I don't know, I can't really, Chris Brick, drainage, plasterboard, coping stone.
Well, better go.
Now. No, you're good, you're good. Yeah. You can get back to your breakfast.
That can't be on camera.
Yeah, come film and sit down. So this is, we're boarding this now. So this plot is about 4 weeks behind prop board. So insulation, boarding, plastering over the next 2 weeks as we pull this one together. It's now sold, so we're up against it to get it done. It's horrible. That needs cleaning. Hey mate, you alright?
You know, good. All good so far, so good. So far, so good. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've been warm for those stars in there. I know they don't match, like you said.
Just getting cracked out and finished now. Good. This house is about 4 weeks out from sign off. So kind of comes together really quick. Like when you get to this point, every day you see significant change, and it goes from being a building site, like the one we was at earlier, goes from being a building site to a home really quickly now. I started this project in 2017. Planning, it took ages to get planning. And I'm finishing these houses now in 2025. Over the life cycle of that project, in terms of profit on this, we made more profit on the church restoration in Ascot High Street that took me 10 months from purchasing to finish. That one unit makes more than these 4 new builds because of the time, the effort. So the big boys, big developers, they make decent margin on their new builds. Small developers, it's just, I make my money on my restorations. Restorations for me are far more profitable, speed that you can do them, just so much quicker for me. These ones, I'll probably break even after all that time, which is a bit of a pain. Believe it or not, if I was to buy that stuff this time of year, it would cost me about $380 to $480 a load. But I can transport it for about 100 a load. So I can move it from here to my other job, about £100 per movement, versus buying it for $380 to $480. This time of year, people want that gear because everywhere's muddy. Put that down on the ground and run your vehicles across it. It just keeps the sites a little bit cleaner.
What space is it? What's the floor space?
Second.
What's the floor space then for the outbuilding? What's the measurement?
Similar. It's about 1,200 square foot.
Oh, okay. So
It's a fair size, that outbuilding.
So what, about 15 grand then?
No, both. So to do the outbuilding, the house, only half of the house because we've already done one half.
Yeah.
And the stairs and the upstairs is 23 grand. Setting out the curbs, they're going to go along the front of this building. So that's a drop section of curb there, so you've got access to the sides. And then it's going to run through, the curb's going to run through up to that pillar on the corner there. This whole area, the aim is that this will be a tarmac parking bay on Saturday this week. So we're moving to get this sorted, so we tarmacked on Saturday. So we've got to run all this curbing around, prepare this ground, ready for tarmac on Saturday. The water naturally comes in here. It's a balancing one, so the water's discharging in here, and then we pump it away. But, this will fill up in no time. That tank overflows into there, and that overflows out into the front. So when everything's overwhelmed outside the site, everything's overwhelmed inside the site, hence why we had a flooding issue this morning, or an overflowing issue, which is now being put right. You all right, James? Very well, very well. Good to see you in on a Monday. How many Mondays on the trot is that now? Two. There's 2 Mondays on the trot, innit?
What, so is that right?
Yeah, in a row.
Yeah, two. Yeah.
Two, that's good. Thank you. That's good. Do you reckon you'll make it free? Do you think you'll do another Monday? Yeah.
I reckon by the end of the quake today, we'll fill that all by tightness.
Before it finds before it binds. It won't get crushed in the pipe below it. That's how low it. Pipe below. Chris, let's talk.
Hopefully it's not crushing it. I don't know how much drainage put on top. You know,
Backs.
it's dusty. Was it an inch?
How much?
6 inches?
How much fines did you put on top of the pipe under there?
Lot, yeah. Not a lot. Just enough to cover the pipe.
Yeah, that's not okay.
That's what I mean. So like top of pipe that much more, or around the pipe, and literally that much over the top. Or not even. It was just there to cover the. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen because we were seeing those lorries were going down about 6 to 8 inches, and yeah, it's also 32 ton. I know that's right. I brought side, isn't it? So we're just wondering whether we think it's pressure the pipe. Sucks. Slightly. I don't think so. I reckon. That hard piece quite solid.
It's not as solid as a dirty tub jump.
No, I get that, but then
Okay. What we need to just make sure is we're past, well, then years to go there.
if anything, this is more of a French drain. But when the water does seep through, it's going to hit this and run.
This is Rob, 4-day week new.
I had all this grief when they were filming at the church.
He's the brainchild. So Angela Rayner is trialling the 4-day week, or she wants to introduce the 4-day week. Rob is trialling the 4-day week for Angela Rayner. He's trialling to see if it works on building sites. And has been for the past 6 months. He's been trialling it.
I'm saving you money.
But we're trying to battle with a slop on the ground. So we're building all roads to deal with the slop.